Coach Doyle posted yesterday a video of you speed squatting. One, what the hell is that? And two, what does it show? What does it mean that you can do that well?
It was just speed squats with chains on it, and that was done during, I think, camp. That was done, and then it's just showing, like, it just shows power, just like going, that's how fast you can move the heavy weight.
Have you had more people like recognizing you, like when you're walking around campus, say going to class, and know who you are?
Not
now?
really, still, which is kind of nice. Still get to go. I got my headphones on too, so maybe that's why also.
How does the mentality change for a week like this, going in as the number one back on the depth chart as opposed to as a number 3 option?
It doesn't change really that much. I'm just going to prepare the exact same way, just knowing everything, watching film. And it doesn't really change because I prepared like this last week for fullback and a little bit for running back too.
Is that kind of why you were able to step in and have so much success, that you've really treated every week as if you were a starter, even though you didn't know where your plays were going to come?
Oh yeah, maybe. The coaches always have all these stories about people coming in and stepping in and knowing their job, and everyone just is dependent on them. So yeah, you really have to every week, even if you're not the starter.
You're obviously well-grained, well-versed in strength and conditioning. Where did that interest come from?
I don't know. I've always really just had an interest in that, getting bigger at first when I was younger, and then I really appreciated it, and that's what I'm majoring in, health and human physiology. So I really have an appreciation for it.
So you want to be a strength coach?
When I'm done.
Mark, I wonder if you could walk us through that journey from Air Force to here. So you went to Air Force just as a student?
No, I played football.
You did? Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
I wonder if you could just sort of refresh us on how you started at Air Force and you ended up here.
I started out there, was recruited there, played football there, and then I left before the semester ended there. I started talking. I just sent out my transcript there back to all the coaches again, and somehow ended up here. I knew the tradition here, and I knew that if football didn't work out here, I'd still want to go to school here. That was a big point.
Kirk said that Brolak is actually the only running back that hasn't been cleared to play. So, for a change, what's the running back situation look like?
Yeah, I mean, in all honesty, you probably know more about it right now than I do. We'll see in practice today, but obviously losing those 2 guys was big. But we still got Malloy's a good back who hasn't really gotten a chance yet, but I've seen a lot of good things out of him. Obviously, Mark did a nice job for us, and then we got Brad Rogers,
Jordan's been cleared, he said.
Kanzeri can play. We got plenty of guys that can fill in there, but whoever's behind that offensive line, we're confident in.
James, when you look at a guy like Mark, he kind of transfers, he's a walk-on, he's completely under the radar. He just seems like a really nice dude who's just happy to be here. He goes out and he plays the way he did Saturday. Is that the kind of thing that boosts everybody's spirits?
Yeah, I think, one play in particular, that third down where it took like 9 of them, I think it was 5 or 6 to get him down. That was a play I think that got everybody going. But Mark just in general has that aura about him. He's a really tough-minded guy. In camp, he dished out some hits. He got hit a lot. He's a guy who just kind of goes really hard and then gets back up and does it again. I think that's something we all look at as a huge positive with Mark in there.
Do you think he could take anger?
I don't know. I'm not going to say that publicly. I'll receive some text messages, but he's a similar tough guy like Pat.
He can take anger.
Yeah, he could. If I can, Weissman surely can.
How does having a productive run game like you guys had on Saturday help you and your rhythm at quarterback?
Well, I think it's huge, and when they have to have 8 guys in the box to stop our run game, it leaves a lot more one-on-ones out wide for the receivers, and to prevent the big play, you're going to get a lot more cushion. So I thought we were really balanced on Saturday, and that led to both our success in the run game and the pass game.
You had 25 passing touchdowns last year. I know you probably don't look at the stats much, but going into week 4 right now,
I'm on pace for 0. Yeah.
What's causing that, or do you think that's?
There's not really. That's just kind of how it's going right now. We're taking what they give us. We've got down to the 1 on several passing opportunities. We've had some opportunities, but as long as we keep putting points on the board, it's not a big deal. Obviously, that's something that we'd like to see improve, and it will over time.
Is there going to be a sense of relief when you finally get it?
No, it's not something I've really thought about, actually, but it'll happen. if we go 11-1 and I throw 0 touchdown passes, nobody's really gonna care.
Do you get to see Wiseman kind of trucking some of those safeties there down the field?
In the game, not as much. You just kind of hear the crowd erupt, and we all know Mark's personality and the type of runner he is, so we're able to piece it together. But then, after seeing it on tape, the things he was doing was incredible.
How does that type of style affect your blocking, if at all? I mean, if you got a guy that's back there that might cut back at any moment, maybe you hold a block longer. He doesn't seem to be a guy that's going to juke or fake anybody out.
Yeah, it helps knowing what kind of back's back there, so you can kind of alter the way you block. But Mark's kind of hit the hole, and then he's not really going to make a move. He's going to try and run over guys. So, obviously it brings a lot of energy to the team, and I think it got the crowd going, which in turn got us going. So, overall, it had a great effect.
How much of an impact does it have when you just consider, I guess, the tough-minded attitude he comes in with?
Like I said, I think it just gets everybody really excited, and it gets the juice flowing through everybody. And when you have the energy levels up high in the huddle, I think in return, what you're able to do on the field is going to just, skyrocket.
James, we'd spent the first 2 weeks sitting here asking you guys, what's wrong with the offense, this and that? And you kind of look back, is it kind of almost funny to think that maybe one of the guys that helped get you over that was just Mark Weisman coming in and demolishing people?
Yeah, it's funny the difference one player can make, but like you said, if you get a guy in there, you can just get everybody going. Maybe that's all it takes, and now it's, can we build on that? Can we keep moving forward as an offense? We're young in some positions, but we need to keep taking those steps forward.
How much does his attitude and his mindset when he is on the field with you guys, how much does that kind of carry over to everyone else?
Every day when he's a fullback, when he's running into guys, it's just like everyone calls him the juggernaut, and he's just like a big rock. He just sacrifices his whole body for, making the block for the running back. So, he just his work ethic rubs off on everybody. So it's good for us.
Coach Morris was just talking about in his press conferences how he thought that you've been progressing in a sense of doing just like some of the little things better. Like, for example, you mentioned the fact that you didn't go off your feet after you made a catch when you were running. Just some of those little details, like along those lines, that you feel that you've gotten better at over the course of the season?
Yeah, he talked to me yesterday about staying on my feet. Because like Mark, he's a big guy, and most DBs don't really want to tackle him. So, lowering my shoulder is probably more of an advantage than me trying to jump over somebody. Just been paying attention to the details and doing what I'm supposed to do. So.
That was Iowa State where you tried to hurdle over a guy, right?
Yeah, that was so stupid. I landed on my hip and messed up my back. And I probably won't ever do that again.
The offense took steps forward, though, last week?
Definitely. That first drive was, I think, really good for us. It was like 10-12 play drive. We were running the ball well, and when we needed to pass it, we passed it well. So, we got the ball in the end zone, gave us some confidence, and we kept it going throughout the game. So.
Coach said Bullock's probably doubtful for the game. How does that affect things?
As you can see, we got depth at running back. Mark did a great job last week, and he's a big guy. He's physical, so I don't think we're too worried about that.
Do the receivers and tight ends talk at all about who's going to get the first touchdown catch of the season?
That's right. No, not yet. It's going to come. Obviously, inside the 3-yard line, we've been giving it to Mark. But once Big Ten play comes around, I'm sure we're going to have to mix things up a little bit. So it's not too big of a deal as long as we're winning.
Does that surprise you, though, just the fact that you guys are a core went through the season and there haven't been any touchdown passes?
Honestly, I didn't even think about that until you said that. But yeah, that's shocking. But we're 2-1, so it's not something that it's huge. But it'll come.
The defense has been trying to take you out of the picture for the past game.
I wouldn't say that. They're playing a defense that I'm sure they were coming into with, and I just haven't not been getting the ball as much as people were thinking, but that's fine. We had how much yards offense last week? 400 yards, so that's not that big of a deal. It's still early on in the year. You never know what's going to happen. So.
You think there's a move to develop the receivers, though, to kind of get them going, because they have confidence? what you can do?
You know, being able to run the ball and throw the ball to other receivers is going to open up other things. So, you know, mine will come, so I'm not too worried about it.
Linebackers 3 weeks into it, comfortable with their coverage underneath now.
Yeah, we were switching it up a lot. We had different coverages throughout the game. But I think overall we got a better look at it from each team, and we're just going to use that and then try to get better at it this week.
How long does it take for a linebacker to kind of get down? How long are you going to hold a guy before you pass him off? Just a feel for where the other guys are going to be on.
Yeah, that's the hardest part about it. You know, that's why we got to talk and communicate with each other. You know, James using the passing, you know, telling me he's coming across. So it's just communications by all the linebackers.
How hard is it physically as, you know, a 230 whatever pound linebacker to keep up with, you know, little running backs and slot receivers that are?
It's definitely difficult, but you know, we got a good technique, so we use our technique and you know, just be patient and then try to get your hands on and know about our safeties.
How much of that comes during the week in film too? When you're watching tendencies on guys, how much do you learn during film session?
A lot. You always pick up little things on players, you know, like how they come up the line. Like some guys come out slow, some just take off. So it definitely helps a lot watching film throughout the week.
How much does it help? Obviously, you're playing an experienced quarterback this week. 2 of your first 3 games were against first-year starters. Do you feel more comfortable seeing a guy that you've seen film on before? Or?
It helps. You know, you get some film with a guy that have been playing a while, so you know his strengths and weaknesses. And the other guys, it was kind of hard. You know, they didn't play much, so you didn't know what to expect. So it definitely helped.
Is there a reason you guys seem to get stronger as the game goes on? No points allowed in the fourth quarter compared to giving up the opening drive for a touchdown?
We just settled down and played the Iowa defense. Yeah, we got to learn how to start faster. You know, we made some adjustments and then we used them to our advantage.
The hit that you had there, that initially they thought it was a fumble, but then they ruled him down. Is that as hard as you think you've hit anybody before in a game or practice?
I'm not sure. Just happy to be in the right place at the right time and trying to make a play for my team, but I'm not sure, you know, how hard I hit him or nothing like that.
I think we're on the right track. Obviously our second half defense is, a little step ahead of our first half defense, which is something we gotta, clean up. Is coming out with a, little better spark. But that's something that's easily correctable, and it's really nothing to do with effort or anything like that. So I think through 3 games, I'm pretty happy with where we're at, and I think as a defense, it's a lot of things to build off of.
You talk about that being correctable. Is it something like, I guess, how would you explain it then, the fact that there have been slow starts and then it's gotten to a point where you have to be able to make adjustments as opposed to being able to start out right from the game?
Yeah, teams have done a good job of showing us stuff that we haven't really, seen from them before. Coming out with some different looks that, that we have to make adjustments on the fly with, and that's what, we've done a good job, going into the second quarter and then into the second half. We've made a lot of good adjustments, and I think that's where we've kind of just, settled in, there after the first drive or 2, and made the right adjustments, and then that's where good plays come from.
Turnovers are big for you guys on defense. How important is that? And is it just a knack for the ball? I mean, can you game plan for those? How do you kind of explain those?
It's a little bit of both. A majority of it is effort and hustle. As long as you got guys flying around to the ball, we're gonna cause those kind of turnovers, and turnovers aren't really more anything with scheme type wise. It's more of a just getting guys to the ball, and more guys we get to the ball, the more opportunity and chances we'll get for those kind of turnovers.
How difficult was it to kind of practice in it as a full team, 110 people or whatever? I mean, were you all kind of bumping into each other in that time?
Of course there was some drills like that. We were kind of in each other's way, but I think coaching did a good job of organizing us and doing some drills, and when sometimes and different drills at other times when maybe the offensive line was doing drills down there, we'd be down here doing 7-on-7 and stuff like that. So I think he did a good job of dividing us up, but there was some times where we were bumping into each other and telling each other to scoot over and stuff like that.
For you, it's got to be probably most difficult of all because you're a punt returner and trying to be in the bubble.
Yeah.
And they couldn't punt, or if they did, they would have to catch it off the ceiling.
Yeah, it was difficult. You try to you try to read the ball, and then next thing you know, hits the ceiling, and you got Coach Soup kicking balls, and you never know where those go. 10 yards to go, 20 any direction. So it was kind of difficult, but we kind of got through it. Now we're in this new place.